Never record something on time lapse.
That's true story. So this is actually take two. Yeah. Number one, Matt has his mic now, which is great because he left it down yonder. Number two, I accidentally had my video on time lapse. So the great conversation and knowledge that we threw out before, none of that was really recorded audio wise. It's just going to be us doing this.
Yeah.
So that'll be a fun little outtake.
And yeah, just like Tenacious D once said, always hit record.
Always.
But I don't think they.
I don't
think
there
was no time lapse back in those days.
I don't think there was any time lapse. No. So here we are in our cozy little corner.
Yes.
Where all the magic happens, and we are here with the newest batch of Kashmir Shangra-la.
Fucking
cheater.
Oh,
that's good.
That's good. Dangerous.
Now, it is dangerous.
Yes.
It's stupid dangerous. Now, we've had Kashmir Shangra-la several times in the past, and this actually predates Matt being one of our brewers here at the brewery, and it's changed and evolved several times. Can you tell us a little bit about when you walked in, when you did Kashmir, what it was like, and kind of guide us through how it's changed up until this batch?
Okay. So when I got on and started brewing Kashmir, I thought it was a real cool beer with the clover honey and the flavor profile of what was going on. But obviously, with anything, you always want to improve upon. And the first thing that we ended up starting to do is we switched around the yeast. It normally was the Square Brewing house yeast.
The house yeast.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, it was good and whatnot, but then the next year when I brewed it, I accidentally thought that it was, the Brite 5 yeast. So we put that in there, and people really enjoyed that.
They did. I actually really like that batch because I always felt that it was just way too sweet for me, and it just hit me wrong, and it gave me headaches and hangovers, and nobody wants that.
No,
and that's what those additional sugars are going to do.
Yeah, it's just like having too much rum and Coke or anything.
We don't need additional rums and Cokes.
Yeah, especially as a 94-year-old man as I am.
Yeah. Radagast the brown over here.
Yes, and soon to be the white, hopefully.
Yes, hopefully one day.
But on that, Dan, because you were talking.
So like the next variation. Like where did we go from there?
So at that point in time, the next year, we ended up going to English yeast.
Yep. This is an English ale yeast, right?
English ale yeast, yep. Yes. And people really didn't care for it that much.
It was different.
Yes. We also, at that point in time, because originally the recipe has 100 pounds of caramel malt, 60L in it. And so...
That's just a lot of malt.
Yeah, and with the already residual sweetness that, for instance, like Brite 5 would have, and you're also adding honey into it, it had some nice flavor, but once again, too sweet.
Yeah.
So
I actually think that batch was probably the sweetest batch that I think we've had.
Interesting. Yeah, because once again, like I said, we lowered it to 50 pounds. But you know what? People really liked the Brite 5. I actually enjoyed it because it had some like stone fruit esters to it.
It just felt lighter on your palate, if I could even say that for a beer that's 10-11%.
Yes.
It just felt, mouthfeel wise, it just felt different and it finished different.
Yes.
And
100%.
and I think that was the deciding factor for me with that Brit 5.
Yes. And so the cool thing is that Omega Yeast, Lance, who started it all.
They do such a great job, by the way.
Yes.
You guys don't know.
Chi-Town.
Man.
Chi-Town classic right there. But yeah, so what their whole accomplishments that they've been doing is they've been gene editing a bunch of these yeasts.
Beer nerd stuff.
Yes, and so they found out what gene causes haziness for what we're about to talk about. So they took a Brit 5 yeast and they gene edited it with CRISPR technology to have it be more clear. So now you can do West Coast or New Age West Coast where, you know, it's a little fruitier, but yet there's still that clarity to them,
right?
If that's what you're doing,
right?
But yeah, so we decided to use that. We also cut the caramel malt by
probably another 50%, right?
Yeah, another 50%. So it was 25 pounds. And
so we've done 25 pounds malt, changed up the yeast. So
yes.
The yeast is now Daybreak 5.
Yeah, Daybreak 5. And so once again, fruity esters, a little bit residual sweetness. We also did switch up the honey as well.
The honey.
Yes.
And let me tell you, when I was in last week and Matt poured me a little bit of sample, I smelled it first and then I tasted it and I said, dude, this is fruity.
Yes. Yes,
this is definitely fruity. And for a lot of you out there that don't know, or those that are new to craft beer, the fruit notes are either going to come from hops or it's gonna kind of come from the yeast. And in this case, it's mostly coming from the yeast. That Daybreak 5, for some reason, those fruit notes just sing right through. And then with the addition of the mouthfeel of the Kashmir hops, and then you have the notes of the Kashmir hops, which are like a melon.
Yes, yeah.
And then we did a different honey this time. And the honey, I think, is the story here.
Yeah, so we ended up going with wildflower honey. It is not as sweet as the clover honey. Once again, with a big beer, you're already going to have residual sugars for the body. And the sort of full, rich herbaceousness of the wildflower honey mixed in with that sort of melon, lime-esque flavors of the Kashmir hops. And then on top of that, the yeast giving off these beautiful stone fruit notes. Yeah. I honestly think it turned out the best. I am very excited for people to drink this.
It's honestly incredible. Because that Daybreak 5, you get those fruit notes.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the Kashmir, that melon kind of comes in. And you got the honey that's kind of herbaceous, but like herbal, but flowery. And it's just such a great combination. And you get that thicker mouthfeel because of the honey, but it's not overly sweet.
Yes. Yeah. This actually attenuated very nicely. I mean,
he uses big words.
Yeah. This really.
It's being that, you know, Maravilla.
Yes. Well, you know, we try. We try and we do. Yep. You know, that's sort of what we do. But yeah, no, I'm super excited to get this in people's mouths and. But yes, I mean, other than that, I think this should be out
next week in stores, right?
Yes, next week.
Next week in grocery stores, next week in liquor stores, and then the week after that, Kashmir Shangra-la will be on tap here at the brewery.
Yes.
And totally looking forward to that.
Yeah, and the cool part is we're going to give Hard Day a little break for a second, even though the last one was very good.
That last batch of Hard Day was probably by far one of my favorite batches because it's just like lemon zest.
Oh yes.
Lemon zest,
oh yes.
maltiness. It drinks super good. Check that video out. I'm pretty sure that it is up on the channel, so
It is.
check that out.
It is.
I think you had additional news to drop as
Yeah,
well?
yeah. So, you know, we like to give drops on the Beer Sherpa channel. We're planning on doing a double hazy IPA called Hop Show Man Salvo Savage.
Hop Show Man!
Yes.
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah, brother. I think I did that pretty well.
You did it. You actually did that. Yes. But that's going to use some of those new Salvo and Salvo Plus technologies from our boys over at Hopsteiner. They're doing some. They're also doing some great work.
Astounding work over there.
Yes, yes. And so we're going to do that, obviously, with T45 as well as T90 pellets as well, with everything. Just mix it all in. I'm very excited about that. Also,
you had other things that are unsavory to my eardrums.
Yeah. I
go closer to the camera and tell them about it because
I don't know really if yeah, so I know this is the Beer Sherpa channel.
Okay.
And
I'll forgive you.
but
You're head brewer. You're forgiven.
we're also thinking that very soon there will be seltzer in cans.
Oh, it hurts.
We've listened to what everybody is saying. We've
No, it
heard your
burns, it
cries,
freezes,
your
it's
voices.
precious.
Why can't we have more seltzers? Why can't we have them available in stores to quench my thirst if I don't have a White Claw at my side? We've heard you. We've heard your cries, your weeps, your death threats.
It's what guys want.
It's what guys want. WGW. Seltzer coming soon. Hoping in January-esque, as they would say.
I think you guys are looking at January, which I think it would. I think it fits in really great because when we think about January, we think about people taking steps to a new year.
Oh yes, always improving oneself.
And so this is, I think, a smart play. This is a good move.
Yes, and not only that, but we're around like 150 calories, so it's low carb. It's health conscious.
Yeah, we're looking out for you guys out there.
It's fully sustainable. I mean, a life of 5% seltzers a day to rehydrate you. And you know what? If there isn't someone out there that is willing to put in the time and the work to do that for you and me and all of humanity so we can come together.
That's just good science.
And throw the Beer Sherpa. No, I'm joking.
Don't
No.
throw the Beer Sherpa anywhere.
No, I was sorry.
I'm not editing any of this out.
Yes.
This is
Sorry.
It's okay. It's Matt being Matt.
But yeah, I mean, Dan, I really wish, because I really loved that first take. All right, so I mean,
yeah.
But you know what? That's fine.
That
That's
first
fine.
take will be up to. I'll find a way to fit it in, whether it's towards the end of the video or a separate video, because I don't know what happened. It just I went to stop it. I thought we were like done and ready to go.
Yeah.
And I went back and I'm like, why is it processing a time lapse? So time lapse inbound.
With the verbals attached.
No, the verbals will be completely out.
The verbals will be completely out?
Yeah, because it's all video.
What?
That's how a time lapse works.
I thought this was...
This is a video right here. Have you never seen a time lapse, Matthew? Stop chasing.
Sorry. I was distracted.
I can tell. I'm going to have to cut this end out.
Yes,
right
yes.
So, thank you guys for joining us here
Yes.
on the Beer Sherpa. We definitely enjoy this new batch of
Dude.
Kashmir Shangri-La. This is
Dan.
outstanding. This has been great sitting down with you, Matt.
It's always a pleasure, Beer Sherpa.
Always.
As a youth shepherd to a Beer Sherpa, I completely respect your art and craft.
And I completely respect yours.
Thank you.
I don't know if I could truly do what you and Dylan do back here, because, you know, I talk to you guys, I learn so much, and then so much of it is above my head. So I commend you guys. You guys are kicking out great stuff for the people out there.
Yes, thank you very much, everybody.
You know, the reviews come back from our beers, and they're very, very positive.
Yes, they are.
So thank you guys for doing your job back here. And make sure that you guys start checking those stores next week for Kashmir Shangri-La out in the grocery stores, the liquor stores, and then the week after, that would be the week of Christmas, wouldn't it?
Well, you know what? Santa does give good gifts.
Yeah.
And we did just revive him.
Yeah, we did.
So he sort of owes us a favor
So,
right now.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And Kashmir Shangri-La to you all.
Yep. Cheers.
Cheers. Prost. See
Prost.
you next time.